you guys know, number one, I have never been invited to a Spider-Man premiere in my life. That's one of the few kind of franchises I've never been invited to. I have never been invited to a Spider-Man premiere, nor will I be this year, for sure. But news has come out, or at least reports have come out, and stories have started to come out, that Spider-Man No Way Home, which is going to start screening for some critics in advance, what is traditional is, for the press junket, they show the movie to critics in advance, so that the critics, as they go, and the interviewers, as they go into the junket, then know the movie they just saw, so they know how to intelligently interview the people, right? Straightforward, easy enough. Or is it? We all know that there's going to be a lot of stuff and a lot of big surprises in the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. And now there are reports going around that saying these advanced critic and interview screenings, they're only going to show them 40 minutes of the movie. 40 minutes of the 2.5-hour movie.
What?
Now, this one comes to us from CBR. That's writing, members of the press who screened Spider-Man No Way Home apparently won't be seeing the film in its entirety. A number of insiders, including Big Screen Leaks, are reporting that the press screenings will only feature about 40 minutes of the actual movie. This is said to be just enough to give journalists some context for an upcoming junkets and other press events. The full version of No Way Home will screen for the premiere and for early purposes. I think that's the case, and for whatever early purposes. So there's that. That's the word going. And then, of course, we see the Big Screen Leaks verified Twitter account saying the press won't be seeing all of Spider-Man No Way Home tomorrow. The full movie won't be screened for the first time until the premiere actually happens. And that's like not for another week or so, or more than another week from now. So I think, Kim, you were asking me when this came up, you asked me, have they done this before?
Yeah.
I have never heard of this being done before.
So weird.
In the 14 years I've been doing this, I have never heard of this being done. Now, before we go too deep into the conversation of this, I do want to point something out. I did write to a contact at Disney and ask if this report was true. And the person at Disney wrote back to me exactly what I should have known they were going to write back to me. Dude, we're not the ones working on Spider-Man No Way Home. That's Sony. So we have no idea. We have no idea if that's true or not.
That's right.
Now, I'm sure some people at Disney know if it's true, but the publicists there at Disney, they're like, we don't know. Like, we're not the one publicizing this movie. This is Sony. So I wrote to a rep at Sony, haven't heard anything back. But I did hear back from Disney. They just said they don't know if this is true. So this would be a first.
Very interesting.
This would be a first, as far as I know, that they are actually releasing a screening for the critics to come and see, for journalists to come and see, but at the same time only showing the part of it. The only other time I saw something that was even close to this was it was before Guardians of the Galaxy came out. And it made sense because nobody had ever heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was the first real big gamble that Marvel had taken. And so Marvel held this big event in Hollywood where they packed out, I think it was the El Capitan Theater, and invited fans to come and see, I think it was 15 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy. And I got to go and be a part of that. And it was a really good marketing move because all of a sudden everybody was talking about Guardians of the Galaxy because the 15 minutes they showed us was amazing. It got buzz going, all that kind of stuff. But that's the only other time I can even remember something close to this. Because even then, when the press screenings happened, they showed the press the whole movie. So what does this mean? It actually means a couple of things. One of the things that it means is this. You know how we've been saying for a while now that there are going to be real surprises in this movie. I'm not talking Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Everybody's known that for a year. All right. That's not a surprise. Ever since, the reports came out over a year ago that they were in it, like the legitimate reports came out over a year, even though I didn't believe them at the time. And then that Andrew Garfield video in front of the green screen got leaked online. And then everybody's known for a year that they're in it. So I'm not even talking about that. I'm thinking there are going to be surprises that are going to shock the world.
Yeah.
That are going to shock us. Like surprises that we haven't even thought about. that even in the craziest of theories, you've never even heard people mention or bring up or speculate about. Surprises that will come out so out of left field, it'll knock us on our asses. So I think that is one. And somebody in the live chat, I think it was Soulcraft saying in the live chat, Hugh Jackman confirmed.
Hello.
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you what. I ain't taking that off the table. As impossible as I think that Hugh Jackman will ever come back to play Wolverine again, I ain't going to take that off the table. Like, if I had to bet $5, do I think Hugh Jackman's going to be in this movie? No. But would I bet $100 on it? Nope. At this point, I would not. I think everything is on the table. Hell, I ain't even going to say it's impossible that Ben Affleck can't come through as Daredevil. From his old,
God.
I'm just telling you, I am not taking it off the table. I think the surprises are going to be so big. Big surprises.
Big surprises.
There's going to be surprises so big, it will shock the world. Because not only are they, listen, this is a 2.5 hour movie. They're not only just saying, hey guys, we're only going to show you 2 hours. We got to leave about a half hour of it out. Yeah. They're only showing them 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Big surprises. I'm telling you, huge.
You think, and it's the first 40 minutes, right?
I don't know.
Because
it
for
could
me,
be a very cherry-picked 40 minutes to work around
right?
a lot of things. So,
oh my God.
I mean, I think this is because there's literally no other reason to not show the journalists the whole thing. That's the way it's always done. And that is the way it should be done. You look, if you're going to send in journalists to interview filmmakers and actors and things like that, they should have seen the entire movie to be able to intelligently interview them. The fact that they're not, and that's the way Disney always does it. That's the way Sony always does it. The fact that they're not doing it here, the only explanation to me is, number one, that there are surprises in this thing that none of us are even contemplating. Like, we know Venom's going to be in there.
Yeah.
We know Toby and Andrew. Most of us know Toby and Andrew. You are still dubious about that, but most of us still know Toby and Andrew's going to be in there. Philip Gray is saying gold boots are going to be in there. For those of you who watch the DC fandom event, you know what he's talking about. Gold boots are going to be in there. Fox in the Future saying Justin Bieber as Galactus is going to show up.
Never say never.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So the first thing this tells me is that there are going to be surprises, the likes of which I don't know that we've ever had in films before. The second thing it tells me is this. Sony doesn't trust their journalists.
Hello.
Now look, it is common, unfortunately, that at premieres, where it's not just journalists, it's people and their dates, actresses bringing their kids, guys bringing their moms, whatever. There are tons of people who go to premieres that are not a part of the studio, not a part of the industry. Tons of them, right? When I'm sitting in the Dolby cinema, the Dolby, what's the Dolby Center called? Anyway, where they hold the Academy Awards. Mm-hmm. When I'm at the Dolby, where they hold the Academy Awards, and they're doing a big premiere, there's like 1,000 people in there, 2,000 people in there, right? Probably like half of them aren't a part of the film industry. They're probably just, regular people. And so after premieres, yeah, you get a lot of leaks come out of premieres. You get a lot of leaks. You don't get a lot of leaks coming out of press stuff, unless you're Forbes. Unless it's Forbes. But and I love Forbes. I do. I quote Forbes a lot, but they do have their film reviewers have a tendency to drop major spoilers in their reviews. But that being said, it number one tells us there are going to be massive things in there, and number two, it tells us Sony does not trust their critics or their journalists. It's not even for the critics, it's the journalists going to cover this. They don't trust them enough that they'll keep it secret. Or maybe they just feel what we are dropping in this, there's no way they'd be able to keep it a secret.
Yep.
Like when Ben Affleck comes through as Daredevil.
Of course.
Nope.
And Hugh Jackman comes through as Wolverine.
Sure.
Indeed.
And Christopher Reeve, resurrected from the dead, comes back as Superman.
Wow.
God bless him.
They might just be thinking, look, we trust these journalists, but there's no way they can't let this slip. There's no way they're going to be able to keep this from slipping. I mean, I don't know. Now, again, we should point out here, and this is very, very. Oh, thank you, Fletcher, in the live chat. It's the Dolby Theater. That's what the name of the place is where they hold the Academy Awards. Anyway, it should be pointed out here that this is all coming secondhand. This is coming from CBR, and this is coming from BSL, the Twitter account, and it's coming from a couple of others. So far as I know, Sony has not confirmed this, and we won't know until tomorrow. So maybe they are showing them the entire movie. Maybe they are. But these reports coming out, it does suggest a couple of really big things. Ray, you're laughing. I know you're looking forward to this.
I'm just saying, man, that I better not fall asleep because it seems like if this is true, that ending is going to be crazy, right?
It's
if it's the first
nuts.
40 minutes.
You know what I think we should do? I think we should do Leak Watch. I think what we should do tonight is we should load up all the Twitter accounts of all the people I know going to this 40 minutes of screening, and we're just gonna live report on what's on their Twitter feeds. It's going to be called Leak Watch 2021. Ray doesn't
Or
like
I just
that
go
idea.
pee.
Yeah, you just the whole time.
Because I'm not doing that.
Ray, honestly, let me ask you this: what would be the biggest surprise to you? Like if we found out something in this movie, what would be the biggest surprise to you?
Mine is not even big or crazy. It's just that I haven't seen the movie, and a lot of people are saying he's in it. But just Venom.
Right.
I'll be the happiest guy in the world just to see Venom and Spider-Man on the screen, like in their suits, fighting at the same time with each other or against other people. That's just it. That's my expectations for surprises are low on this one.
Right.
So if I see that, I'm happy.
You're happy with that.
It already gets an 8 out of 10 without even talking about anything else.
Kim, what about you? What do you think could be the big surprise to you? Like if you walked in and think this would be the biggest thing that would surprise me.
Oh my gosh.
Magic Mike's abs?
Or his dance moves. I'm so excited for this. This says so much. If it's true, let me calm down. This says so much if this is actually true, because that means, I agree with exactly what you said. I mean, some of you lovely folks think that Toby and Andrew is going to be in this. Bless your heart. But what else could possibly be happening?
Oh, Cameron knows what your big surprise is.
So freaking afraid.
Cameron in the live chat knows what your surprise is.
Cameron, tell all.
Shazam. Shazam's going to be your big surprise.
I like it.
It's the done deal. Shazam.
I'm here for it.
With the headless Superman.
What could possibly be happening? That you do not want your journalists, people who are professional, people who get paid to do a job a certain way, you do not want them to see the whole movie. I'm starting to really feel like we're going to get like X-Men. I'm starting to feel like this is not, Toby and Andrew's not even going to be the issue at all.
Because it's got to be huge.
Or a major death.
Ooh.
I was already super sorry, guys. My voice is still not 100%. So whoever's listening to the podcast is like, her damn voice. It's still pitchy. I was already super excited about Spider-Man. And now this news makes me just like, I'm 50% more excited. Oh my God.
Okay, let me answer that question again. The biggest no chance surprise?
Yeah.
Miles Morales.
I'm trying to
Listen,
tell you, bro.
I have been totally, completely in the boat of Sony wants to keep Miles Morales in the animated realm, right? Something as little as if it's true, and they're only showing 40 minutes to critics, I ain't going to bet $100 against Miles Morales, a live action Miles. I mean, I have said this whole time, there's no way Sony's putting Miles Morales in live action. They've got him. They're being incredibly successful with him in the animated thing. They're going to keep him there. But I'll tell you what, Ray.
That would knock me off my seat, literally.
I wouldn't bet ketchup on eggs against it. This is one thing I would not bet ketchup on eggs against.
I mean, if Spider-Man, what I think is, if Spider-Man goes off and does 3 movies with Sony against all the villains that they have set up in this movie, he's going to need someone to help him, right? I mean, Spider-Man could probably take on all of them on his own, but it would be great to see Miles Morales and him team up for a movie or 2.
I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The possibilities are literally endless.
They're so endless.
If they are taking the extreme, guys, I can already tell that there's probably a lot of you guys watching that are thinking, Well, I mean, what's the big deal if they only show them 40 minutes of film? You don't understand. That's not how it's done. This would be such a break in tradition and how they should do things, and the way Sony believes it should be done. Show the journalists 100% of the movie. That's what they totally always do. This is such a break from that it has to be extreme. It has to be over something extreme.
You know what Sony should have done?
What's that?
Should have only shown 40 minutes of Zookeeper at CinemaCon.
That would have been,
Or maybe even less.
Maybe we could have stayed awake through
within
it.
the first 5 minutes, they showed Zookeeper.
You were asleep.
No. First of all, there's an old man like on the end of the road that I actually had to pass when you told me.
And he
"Hey,
was
you should
asleep.
go." He was already snoring like, and I fall asleep for 1 second. And John taps me and goes, "Hey, Ray, you're falling asleep." So I decided to leave because I didn't want to be disrespectful. But as I was going out of the row, the old man's right here. He's going,
Dude, seriously? I was like, it was the first year I brought Ray with me to CinemaCon, right? And we're in this theater with all these movie executives and the theater owners and stuff like that. And we're in this advanced surprise special screening of Kevin James's Zookeeper, right? And it was bad. But still, like a minute into the movie and Ray starts falling asleep. And I'm like, dude, Ray, you're going to embarrass me, man. In front of all, I bring you to this thing, you're going to embarrass me, right? But so then Ray goes, I think I better just leave because I'm going to fall asleep. I'm like, okay, cool. But as he's walking out, I'm looking around and like half the fucking audience was asleep. Like half of them were asleep. And then I felt so bad that I was like giving Ray a hard time because everybody was just sleeping in that theater. Because anyway.
and you hated it when you left.
Oh, I hated
You're like,
that.
you
It
should have
was
left with
I
me.
should have gone with you. It was so bad. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Now, first of all, we may find out tomorrow that this was not true at all, that they did actually show the whole movie to people. So, I mean, you got to keep that in mind. But if it's true, and they only show them 40 minutes, which is so breaking with the norm, it's got to be for something big. What do you guys think about this? Jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.